Quadra kill through the box. Didn't even know that was happening. Confide will finish it off and clip that, ladies and gentlemen. It's 6-5. The trades are looking good as Karina could potentially find another. Won't find just yet. It's Timmy Fish with the triple kill. It's all left to this solo Yoro Pregnant Hippo. Can you find one? Will finds the second. What a double kill for Pregnant Hippo. Can you find the next? Is it Void is sticking for now. Doesn't know where Pregnant Hippo is. Can you clutch out the round? Oh, won't find the kill just yet. But with the right click, what a clutch from Pregnant Hippo. It's a 1v3 to secure the first round for Tacti Bears.
He's on the seaside, so that will create some snow. However, place is completely walled off. A Bushy takes out Pyrison.
What they worship, and it is what they will continue to go to. As look at this, 4 players in Waterfall. They're looking to attack. A
Bushy gets 3, gets 4. He's on his way to an ace. He's gonna keep Boba single-handedly alive in this game as Zom takes him down. Now the rest of Boba gotta lock in and kill this one poor player of Zom in Waterfall. Nova's gonna do.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Mask Madness Season 4. We are here for our very first match in Group A. It is Vespra versus the Loneliest Poets, and I'm excited to see what we got going on as we're taking our first step into Abyss in the season in general. I'm Rhodes, joined with Vanish and GOIT, going to be observing once more. How are you feeling, Vanish, as we're seeing Group A for the very first time with some unknown people we don't really know?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. As a debut for Group A, I think I'm hoping for a slightly more balanced match than last time. I think we could be in for some real good Valorant here.
Yeah, 100%. I'm very intrigued to see what we're going to get overall. And as we're starting off on Abyss, we are going to see our very first veto as well, I believe. So some interesting stuff coming into this map where I'm very intrigued to see ultimately what both of these teams are going to be able to do. Of course, it is going to be Vespra's map picks, so they do have that advantage, I guess you could say, to start us off, as the rest of these picks are coming in and they are vastly different team compositions.
Yep, maybe a bit of the veto versus deadlock here. I'm looking for a very heavy site shutdowns. These teams really can't let that deadlock or that veto set up on site, otherwise they're gonna have a tough time reaggressing. I think the Sova pick on both sides and the Sova breach, 2 double initiators can see some very high impact. Yeah, I'm looking towards the retakes. They're gonna be explosive and they're gonna be pretty fun to watch, I reckon.
Yeah, and the only 2 agents that both of these team compositions share is going to be those initiators overall. So I'm very excited to see what this map got into us here. It's going to be attack starting for Vespra. It's going to be defense starting for this Loneliest Poets roster. So everything does begin now. What team will pop off? The big question is the pistol round. Who can really come out on top, as it looks like so far Vespra are setting up to do a bit of a split around the map. The bomb's going to be dropped towards A, so which team can find the first advantage as we begin this map in 10 seconds or so?
Yeah, looking towards this A main fight. This Ryu may potentially go for a fight into this breach. Yoru, this could see him, the breaches exchanging kit. Looking open. No, Ryu's not thinking about taking this pick. Kuru is getting a pretty ways up here. Orb is noted. Ryu, shots whiffed, unable to close on the kill. Rikishi does punish Kuro, and Ryu finally connects onto Aiden. That is 2 up for, I do apologize, I have misplaced my team names sheet, but that is a 2 up for the attackers. 2 down for the attackers, and not looking to slow down. Trying to backfill into mid a little bit here with Ray is looking maybe to take the fight with idling. Oh. Miss Vale taking the fight. Idling fully minded up. Ryu with a second. Disaster noted. Ryu with a third. Ray noted mid, taking the fight. Unable to close on these shots. Tagged down to 50 HP. Ryu's hunting for that 4th. This player is boxed in and tagged. I don't see him getting much. Doesn't even manage to take down Ryu. Ryu takes 4 in the early round, and that is a flawless.
Yeah, it's exactly what you want to start there for Ryuk. Able to go 4-0-1 to start off this game. And that's exactly what the Loneliest Poets needed to do to get off to an amazing start. And hey, fair enough. You're able to find 4 kills on a Jet, a agent I'll probably talk about quite a bit in this tournament with my lack of liking of it. But for now, able to start off strong, has the Outlaw to begin this round as well. The Jet looking to bring their team to a huge momentum boost, as once again, it is Vespra's map pick, so they're already starting off on the back foot.
Yeah, Vespra opening up the round with 5 pretty much stacked towards their spawn. Not much map control gained, looking to maybe take the fight into Misveil down mid here, but other than an exchange of darts, nothing noted. Misveil notes the heavy mid presence, claims idling. Shots go awry, and Misveil gets punished by the Classic. Rikishi is not looking to take this fight with the Spectre. Ray has managed to sneak all the way up top. Double face into mid. Kuru claims one into Rikishi, and it's now the advantage towards Vespra, and this is suddenly got awry for Loneliest Poets. Ryu with a nice flank here with the Outlaw, however. Full mid control gains. Oh dear, first shot missed. Does manage to claim the second onto Aiden. Demonic with one on Kuru, and now the advantage swings back towards Loneliest Poets. Yeah, and it's now once again all down onto Ray. With a Spectre top mid, Spike is in no man's land. It looks like Loneliest Poets is backing up to maybe re-aggress a little bit. Tipester is still perfectly happy to stay there, hold down that B site. They know Ray's got to be going, maybe flanking towards spawn. They're happy to just sit and wait for him to come and try and claim this spike.
Yeah, I don't know what she's going to be able to do in this round. Everything was going well for them until the Jet with the flank just completely making this miserable here for Vespra. I mean, we'll see what she can do here. It does have potential timing.
Ray managed to take out Vesta, but Demonic's just waiting around that corner. The trade is claimed. A little less clean than Poets may have liked. Vespra does get a large amount of orbs, but in the end, round still goes in their favor.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very nice start for them. They have Ryuk now 6-0-1 as well on this Jet 2 off of that Blade Storm. I mean, it's a perfect start here for them overall. They did take a bit more damage than they would have liked to. Of course, we did see that very big whiff from the Bulldog, but you know, it is what it is. Able to do a good amount of damage. Everything worked out in the end. It's going to be 2-0 to start off on the opposite pick here, and we're going to see Ryuk be aggressive again here. Full armor, so they won't be able to completely one-shot. What can you do with the Outlaw?
Yeah, 5-man facing to Ryu, noted up by the drone, but chooses to stay on the angle. He is unwavering here. Oh, that's an unfortunate timing. Unscopes right as he gets heavy swung. Bit of damage goes his way, but not much else. Now it's the heavy rotating coming from Loneliest Poets here. Ryu pot shots through the smoke, claims nothing, and Rikishi is punished through the smoke by Zalsta. Ryu choosing to back up into security now, and the site goes the way of Vespra. Looking for a 4-on-5 retake. Kuru is getting really aggressive towards security here. He notes the heavy presence of the players, and Demonic punishes too. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Idling somewhere now, backing up. Paranoia invested. Ryu when it goes down once again to Zalsta. Demonic tagged down to half health. Idling does claim Misveil into heaven. Demonic with an ult to do, takes 3. Now backed up by Tipester, but Demonic goes down by idling somewhere. Tipester now with the Vandal at least in a 2v1. They know where he is. Shock Dart just misses. Idling somewhere potentially going for some kind of jump up. And punishes Tipester. Shots do not quite connect. And that's the bonus. Does not go the way of Loneliest Poets, but once again a little bit tighter than could have been imagined.
Yeah, and it is just kind of fine still for the Loneliest Poets. They're able to get the round done pretty good, as they do, of course, lose all their members, but they make 3 go away here for Vespra. They're able to regain this big weapon lead, and now we're going to see what Vespra can do, as it looks like they're going to try and rebuy into this one fully. Of course, they won't have the exact weapons that Loneliest Poets are bringing into this, but we will be seeing them head towards this B site for the first time, and we'll see how they test the veto trying to defend with the Astra. It's going to be quite difficult.
Starts off with shots exchanged, but no casualties yet. Festus utility now noted. Clone does draw out some of that veto kit. Demonic now popping smoke, stunned out. Tipesta's a little bit on their own a little bit here. Full aggression to side, claims Kuru, and TB's out safe. Ray now blocking off. Does manage to reswing and claim Demonic there, but a little bit late, but Misveil now swinging back heaven. Tipesta's stuck on one side here, and 2-player flank coming in. Aiden claims one, Ryu with the trade, but Misveil goes down heaven. Tipesta finally closes on the kill. It's down to a 2v2. Both players from Vespra now stuck in sight, getting pinched. They're gonna be noted that yep, there's nowhere else they can be. Blasted, annihilated by Ryu. All on Ray. Gets the one, but unable to swing and get the second. Ryuk with 3 closes out the rounds for Loneliest Poets, and it could have gone better for Vespra.
Definitely could have, but I do also like the damage they were able to get done. Of course, this next round is going to be very awkward for them since they did fully buy into that last one. I do wonder what they look to commit coming into this next. As look at Ryuk, 9-1-1, 4 rounds in to start their first series here in Mask Madness. A perfect beginning for the Jet, and even Demonic also going 5-2-2 on the Astra. Some very good starts for them, and they're looking to potentially push the initiative as we need to see fight back now from Vespra. Of course, it is going to be an eco round for them. It's going to put them down by 3 more rounds because of that force. So I'm incredibly scared for what we're going to get in the future, as we're going to get more attention here from Ryuk.
Pressure is once again on Ryuk and Rikishi. Rikishi claims 1 this time instead of Ryuk. Backing up, happy to let that simmer now. The weaker weapons are like the Sheriffs, the Bandits, just not really able to punish that push out. This mid presence is noted from Misfell, and they're happy to sit back and just kind of keep their space holding. Tempesta does have this outlaw here, so that's one to watch. Idling Summer being the only person who can survive direct shot. Ryuk claims 1 across the map, tagged down to 7, still aggressive on this angle. Aiden maybe not risking the shots through. Now it's replaced by Rikishi on the angle. It's the last 3 members of Vespra grouping up to maybe see something happen on this A site, but Rikishi, that's the second. Last 2 players noted, stun goes out. Idling Summer's shots just not quite connecting. And they're just happy to leave this fight down to the 2 guns not recovered. Just let them stew a bit.
Yeah, it's nearly impossible for them to do anything in this round with 35 seconds left and with an Astra running down too. I mean, both of these players are just assuredly dead here.
Looking to Demonic, Idling might just back into him, and that's claims 1 for Demonic. Zasta now on the angle, but can't punish. And that's a flawless round for Loneliest Poets in a, sure, an anti-eco, but still, no casualties, that's impressive.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly how they want to do it right there in a eco. They're able to keep all their money and be able to kind of build an economy lead now. The only thing going for Vespra here is that they will be able to get guns back, and they will have a potential 5 ultimate if they can get Kuro some kills. But for now, 4 ultimates on the board here for Vespra, 2 on the board here for this Loneliest Poets roster, who has to kind of pick it up a little bit. I feel like it's been a 2-man show so far, and it's worked. But how long will it work for as Ryuk? Has to be careful.
Yeah, Ryuk going under a lot of pressure here. They are not clearing this corner. This could be bad. Blinded out by his own teammate to sell the ruse. Rikishi gets 1. They turn around. Ryuk's punished. Doesn't even get 1 from that angle. Vesper now with the man advantage heading into the site. Just Misfell in Heaven, and I don't think they're going to be too enthusiastic about peeking this. No, they're happy to let the site and just hold on to security in Heaven. Deadlock Wall now invested Heaven, and Aiden punishes Misfell now the smoke's faded. Demonic looking to rework some of that magic, but Ray's just Ferrari swings it to all on Tempesta with this outlaw. None of the enemy players really vulnerable, other than Zausta, who is well aware that they are on the regen shields here, so happy to sit back a little bit. And there's not much Tempesta can do here. Completely locked out of the site, looking maybe to recover a rifle, but again, those are very distant.
That's exactly what we need to see, though, from Vespra, being able to have a bounce back round after really not finding too much in this game. Making it 4-2 makes it a lot more playable, as Ray will find that final kill, and their economy can kind of take a bit of a breather. They used no ultimates in that round, so they have plenty of stuff to use in this next, and they just kind of caught Ryuk in a bit of a greedy situation where just really wanted to stay and wait. But Aiden was just all-knowing, got flashed at the same time, but unfortunately it was not as flashed as Ryuk. Able to find the Jet. They had the player advantage, and then they eventually took that A site, and now we see if they can try to build some momentum afterwards, as some ultimates are about to come out.
Yeah, this ult cycle is looking very heavy for both sides, but Vesper with all 5 online, looking to use some of those as round. Heavy hit into B right here. Looks like Tempesta's under a lot of pressure. That Euro ult, yeah, he's tagged out, and in goes the Deadlock ult, but Tempesta manages to dodge it with the Veto teleport. Now grouped up to Heaven. B site is free, but this quick flag coming in from Ryuk once again with the pressure. Demonic and Tempesta cleaning up on the B site, and we didn't see what happened there, but oh, actually, I apologize. My game bugged a little bit, and I wasn't following the observer the whole time. But that was a heavy fight going on there, and like they get sight there, but just can't win any of their duels. And Loneliest Poets is just very happy to sit back and punish this over enthusiasm from Vespra.
Yeah, and I mean, it is exactly just what needed to happen again for a bounce back for themselves. I mean, it looked like they had a completely free site. They used the dimensional drift to get on there, but unfortunately, a bit of a crazy peek out from Tippy or Tester, able to find a 3K on the round, and the Vito able to get a bit of stonks back up here as they're going to look to try to defend this site once more. But, I mean, that is just a picture-perfect way to begin that round as Tippier getting a bit too close to comfort.
Yeah, just swings straight into Zalster, very aware of that push could be coming down. Kuru now noting the heavy pressure mid, and Demonic's isolated pretty much here, going maybe for a bit of a reclear on B, but Vespra is happy to let that early frag sit and come back towards into a heavy mid fight. Rikishi now claims idling, but Kuru claims misfail on top mid, and Zalster then punishes Rikishi. This is not looking good for Poets. Ryuk, all on Ryuk and Demonic, separated across the map, and it looks like Vesper is looking to end B here. Slightly unfortunate for Demonic, who's just moved off. Yeah, all members grouped up except for Ray, now lurking mid, ready to punish any potential reclear. Demonic looking to maybe get one on Kuro here. Has got a noted back, swings round, takes his head clean off. All down onto Ryuk now, coming on from the spawn, and he's got a lot to do, and really not much to do it with, and that's it. That's a 3 for Kuro, and that's a nice clean round from Vespra, starting to answer back to these Kuro pushes, and this they're able to game their rotates into mid.
Yeah, now the economy are really getting dried up here for the Loneliest Poets, as they have lost 2 of the last 3 rounds. If they are buying into this one, it's going to be their last buy for a second, or at least it's going to be an ugly buy here. It looks like they will actually try to be able to play into the next round. Ryuk does have that Blade Storm in general, so once again though, it is a bit of its economy really coming up now for Vespra. They're able to buy into the next 2. There's going to be some very competitive rounds coming up, and we'll see how everyone does play as Ryuk, being aggressive as the fights are happening on the other side of the map.
Yeah, Ryuk's heavy aggression noted and punished by Ray. This is a heavy fight into B. Pressure's all onto Pester. That Omenon has been stuck. I don't think they know, but Guru just cleans it up. And it's all on Misfail, unable to help their teammates, just stuck in on site. And Rikishi is going to go for a bit of a flank here, but this has been a very common move from them and Ryuk, so I'd be very surprised if Ray doesn't spin and take this one out. Idling somewhere claims their opposite number onto Misfail into heaven, and it's just looking like another clean answer from Vespra, punishing Loneliest Poets' relative defensive inflexibility.
Oh, no.
Rikishi's netted up. Oh, and they're all coming. Does manage to claim Kuro, so it's not going to be a flawless, but I can't see much more happening.
Yeah, that doesn't have much ammo either.
Okay, idling. Oh, okay, that could have been bad, but Ray's there to punish. And that's fire for surviving for the side of Vespra, and Loneliest Poets' early lead is starting to slip away.
Yeah, and that is going to call the timeout as well because of it. And Ray, really the star of that round, somehow surviving against Rikishi to find Rikishi in the end as well. But being able to find Ryuk, and that just kind of opened things up for the rest of the map, because there's no more people that can really go for these types of plays, as the rest of the team just gets the B site for free. They have those ultimates to expend, and unfortunately here for Loneliest Poets, they did use quite a few, and they do lose quite a few of their members in that process, as Kuro's one off that dimensional drift now. The driver's seat is definitely Vespra. They have 3 out of the 4 of the last rounds. Their economy have 3 players maxed out. I mean, they are looking to fly throughout the rest of this half. The question is, what will this timeout bring here for the Loneliest Poets, as Vespra are looking to potentially go B again, judging by the pings on the map?
I'm looking towards maybe a swap out from Ryuk and Rikishi's tactics here. These are just getting hard read at this point by Vespra. Like, you could see Ray was just sat back, D-Bay spawn far enough away that Ryuk thought it was uncontested, went for the flank and immediately punished. I'm looking to see some change. If I'm seeing that Jet PK long again, way short, I'm not happy. Yeah, it does look like a full side swap. Misfail may be the only remaining position. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it looks like Ryuk's going into mid. The Vito's going A for the first time this map, and the Astra and the Breach are stacking up, so looking for maybe a slightly more supported mid fight here, with only really Ray peeking into mid here.
Yeah, we'll see if they do realize it's happened too, and we might get some early fights because of these aggressive positions.
Yeah, Demonic on heavy angle here though, but the Sheriff, Rikishi just goes for a risky jiggle peek there and is instantly punished by Kuru. Demonic has to drop off the angle, maybe looking to punish off the orb grab. Looks in the wrong way. Kuru just again takes their head off. Ray notes the pressure mid.
But the
All
bomb's
three
towards
players
A.
from Loneliest Poets are now kind of trapped mid. The Veto maybe a bit of an over-rotate here. All of their util burned, and Vespra's sat on the choke here, and I don't know if they know it. Yeah, it's a free site. The comms are gonna be calling them.
Oh!
Ooh,
Okay.
that's a nice little surprise frag through the smoke there, but still, gun and man advantage is still the way of Vespra. Site is now locked down.
They didn't
Well,
play
they're
it.
looking at wait. This is either the most legendary pump fake or someone didn't hold their keyboard for long enough. Misfail. The cutting noise now and the heavy presence noted. This is a very odd round. Vespra is still here. This is still a 3-stack site. Kuru does manage to close out on the kill, and it's all on Misfail and Ryuk. That's a nice shot. But still, wait, Ryuk goes unnoted. It's 2v2 now. It's all on Kuru and Zasta. Very split up, whereas Loneliest Poets players are here very, very grouped up. Zasta goes unnoted. Punished by Ryuk though. It's all on Kuru. On for the ace. They don't know where he is. Oh, it was so close, but Ryuk does close that out with a 3K, and that I feel like Vespra let that one slip through their fingers.
I think that's the biggest throw of the tournament so far, to be honest. That was a for sure win for Vespra, but what just happened? Did Zoster just not hold it down long enough? Was it a called pump fake? I don't know, but everything just went the way of Loneliest Poets. Ryuk now 13-4-1. Yeah, I mean, exactly that, Ryuk. Who knows what just happened, because that was the biggest throw of a round we have seen so far, and that is really going to hurt Vespra. Overall, they can still buy into this next round, but you got to be wondering, what did we just witness? As Dimensional Drift is going to be used for Kuro, they're going to look to re-attack this ace site potentially, and we'll see if they can find success this time.
The low combo coming in here, but you can't really do that to someone with teleports. This is a heavy rotate coming in from Loneliest Poets straight onto the A site, and I reckon Vespra's going to be reading this. Raid does get punished mid though. It's been consistently going for this swing. This is a very heavy team fight. Kuru's gone in deep. It's a 4-on-5 that everyone's close. I don't know if Vespra's realized how fast the rotates are. Ryuk does claim one. Aiden claps Misfail with an aftershock, but heavy fights. Ryuk just continuing moving. That's 3 for Ryuk. Last is Kuru's trapped main. That's a disaster.
I mean, it has just been an absolute clinic for Ryuk. Puts up the Cypher emote once more. It's another 4K. It's a 17-4-1 duelist right now. The duelists in this tournament are just absolutely crazy. What is just Jet doing to Vespra, as they just have no solve for it just yet? After that timeout, Ryuk has really been able to get back into things and really finding these rounds overall. It's 7-4, and we're in our final round of this half. It's full buy for both teams. Ultimates all in the hands of the Loneliest Poets, as if they can make it 8-4, it's going to be a difficult climb, or a difficult hill for Vespra to climb.
Same dart once again down mid, but still tags Aiden. And Kuru potentially looking to punish Misfail here. The group up towards B is so far unnoted, but still 3 players of Loneliest Poets are stacked up on the favored side here. Once again, Ray, the only one lurking towards the A site, noting that there is no aggression from Ryuk here, as there has been in previous rounds. But space taken up towards Bookshelf, but Demonic just punishes Kuro, going for maybe a little bit of that EG teleport there. Aiden now left pretty much alone up mid. Ray looking to reinforce, but this feels disjointed.
Oh, we're going fast.
A bit of a crusade up mid here, and punishes Misfail, so Deadlock ult does not connect. 3 still stacked towards B, and okay, Veto util noted, and Zasta's not feeling too good about entering into that. Still, Dart invested, and Spike's up in a very dangerous position here. Maybe for Tempesta punishes it. Spike's now down in the open, backs off the angle. Rio claims another, and that Demonic cleans up mid. That's a disaster. Ray has managed to worm their way up mid, but we'll maybe not see this rotate from spawn coming. Tempesta noted in the smoke, going towards heaven. That's a bit excessive. Tempesta taking the fight, does win. There's now a 2-on-2, but 13 seconds on the clock. Rio goes for the ego swing. Oh, a bit of a fright. Oh dear. Oh, that didn't have to do it like that, Rio.
Ryuk absolutely running the show right now. A very impressive first half, 19-4-1, probably the most impressive half we have seen on the stream so far. As we will get a pause 10, we'll pause that with 10 seconds left in this round, or before the round starts. But either way, this is exactly the start we need to see from one of the teams to really get themselves going, and it is the Loneliest Poets on the opposite team's map pick. I mean, what more could you really want coming into this one?
Yeah, and I foresee some of Ryuk's defensive aggression coming out in full force on this attacker side. This is going to be a fast and punchy comp, and I don't really think that Vespra will be able to stop this, with the exception of the deadlock and the breach, which have like been largely not having that much impact. I think they can see themselves getting run over towards this and ending up towards maybe a 12-5, 12-6 by the end of this half. It's not looking good.
I mean, we'll really need to see what Vespra can do. As we're gonna just turn to a BRB screen real quick, so the teams cannot see any potential strats being lined up. We'll be back in a second, and hoping this pause 10. Oh, never mind, it's back. Never mind. Just kidding. We're not going to a BRB. We're so back already. Yeah, this is a very rough position though for Vespra, but the solace is we need to see if Vespra can get back into this. Because, I mean, it is their map pick, and we need to see how they are going to be able to play into this as well. It's going to be just so difficult in general, but you never know what you can see in this tournament, and it is going to be quite the story indeed.
Examining the pings on the map, looks like it's just going to be an extremely heavy push into this solo deadlock site, and we're just going to see how much Ray can really do. Looking to stall out the team, but it's a 3-stack towards A, and
attacking these as
I can see this not ending well. This pistol is so crucial towards the side of Vespra, and honestly, this could go south real quick if this deadlock gets overwhelmed, and then it's just a snowball straight into the match point.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how the rest of the team is going to be able to pick up right here. We have the two initiators currently bottom fragging for Vespra, but overall, I mean, it is just how are they going to stop Ryuk? Ryuk has been on fire on defense. We have Ray with this deadlock, but has a lot of potential to try and get the team right back into this game, and that is going to be one of the main stories for them. And yeah, we're gonna have to see what does end up happening here as we're getting into this pistol round. It is going to be a difficult climb. It's 8-4 in favor of TLP. What can Vespra do as they are playing on defense? And Ray, all alone towards this B site, has a lot of friends on their way.
It's for the alley wall, though it looks like Ray has not invested in any sensors here, so... You know what, I didn't even know the area Dinar could do that, and that's the net wasted deadlock now with no stall potential, and that's just a free site for the side of Loneliest Poets. Vespra grouped up in these smokes, but not really able to do anything about it. Looking for an early pre-take. Tempesta does get punished. Idling does take down their opposite number, and this is actually very much going in the favor of Vespra. This is a lovely pre-take, and that's a flawless pistol. That is exactly what they needed.
Yeah, we got some really nice shots there from Aiden especially, and that was really able to find everything they needed to do, and being able to kill Ryuk with the classic into Sheriff. I mean, that is the start that you ultimately need to begin this half. Potentially going 8-6 is a lot better than potential 10-4. As we're going to get into this next round, the attack looking to potentially set up on a bit of a split. We'll see where they end up. But the pings coming out from Aiden, looking like we might get a bit of a stun combo. Looks like maybe a paranoia as well. Ryuk has to be very careful. They're looking to be aggressive.
Yeah, Ryuk may be getting a taste of their own medicine here. Kuru going for a very wide peak, but Ryuk happy to sit back now re-clearing a little bit. Ooh, this is tight. This deadlock util noted up on B. Like the Pesta. Shot missed for Kuru. There isn't really any way out for Ryuk here. Kuru now swapping down, nothing to fall back off the line. Heavy presence towards mid from the side of Loneliest Poets here. Ryuk, I'd slow down, buddy. And that's it. The kill finally happens through the Outlaw, and Rafe has pulled back into the B side, maybe feeling some of the pressure that was there earlier in the round. Idling is now noting some of this mid presence, but maybe not its full depth. But yeah, no, calling for reinforcements into mid and grouping up for another B hit. This is very slow from the side of Loneliest Poets, and I don't really blame them. They're kind of feeling out the setups here, and Rikishi's managed to sneak their way up. Maybe punishing Ray here. Ray notes. Net goes out. Has to fall off the line due to the stun, but Demonic's just double swung here. Kuru gets the kill. Ray punishes Rikishi, and maybe this little push in from Tempesta goes unnoted, but idling somewhere. Nope, does fall to Tempesta. That's the first kill for the side of Loneliest Poets, but punished once again by Ray, and Ray with a clean 3k into the round. That was a pretty nice anti-eco there, I must say.
Yeah, pretty solid overall. They're able to retain most of their players. Ray able to continue a pretty good performance in this game as well. 3 off of that annihilation. So overall, it's just a pretty decent start for Vespra to begin this half. It's exactly what they need. But now, the bonus is where things get particularly interesting. Kuro, of course, still with that outlaw. Guess what? There are 3 regen shields on TLP. This could cause for a major panic if we can see Kuro find quite the few picks that can really shake up this round. But the bomb for now will be towards this A site. We'll be chilling. What will they do? As Zoster finds an opening pick.
Yeah, Zoster with a cheeky little pick through the smoke. Ryuk once again going for that pretty heavy A aggression, but shut out by this deadlock util. And once again, Loneliest Poets is not able to really gain a foothold anywhere on the site. Rikishi going for a very risky peek, dry into Zoster there. Kuru maybe not noted yet. That outlaw, like you said, can do a lot of damage. Zoster with another clean kill with the Bulldog. And there's a bit of reclear from mid coming from the side of Vespra here, making sure that they're, like, you know, Ryuk hasn't managed to sneak their way up mid, but this lack of any aggression elsewhere is going to be noted, and Ray, sorry, is very happy to back up here and just call for rotates.
What a start, though, for Vespra. They're able to find 2 picks. So much damage on the Sova as well. This is looking so good for them if they can just keep strong.
Ray looking to notes Ryuk, does not do any damage either way, and TLP are really boxed in here, unable to take much space. It's 2 or 3 peaks idling somewhere with 2 with the bandit. And Ryuk's just tagged up and there's no way out here, and that's a flawless round for the side of Vespra. That's good.
That is a brilliant round for Vespra. They are fully back in this game. That's going to cause an eco here for TLP. It's almost guaranteed that this game is going to be tied, at least you would think. And they are going to call their last timeout of the game. I believe they called timeout before. I'm not 100% sure. But either way, yes, I mean, a beautiful round from Vespra. And now they're going to be looking to try and gain more momentum. They're buying an operator potentially for Kuro, which I am a bit hesitant about, but for now it will be okay, and I'm just very intrigued to see if they can continue with this momentum. They've been very good at stifling everything we have seen from TLP on their attack so far. They keep trying to go to B site. You can't actually get there without losing 2 or 3 members. They try and go towards the A site, and it just doesn't matter because they're just so good at fighting back, and that has been one of the main difference makers of the sites are just not easy to hit for TLP so far.
Yeah, I must say, I think Vespra is really well aware that their enemy here is silence. Because with the deadlock here, Ray is very, very aware that TLP can be going for these sneaking past the sensors and such. So is like jiggle peeking these angles, and like people like Aiden are just waiting with the stunts here to punish push-ups like that. Rikishi is just unable to use a large amount of their kit without giving up the game, and looks like we have a bit of a disconnect from idling here. So this may cause a tech timeout. Looking to see whether they'll come back. Yeah, that looks like a pause at 5 seconds.
Oh, got the 4. Yeah, I mean, it is going to be a quick B10. I am actually this time going to bring it to a quick BRB screen. We'll be back right away with how the rest of this map does go. It's 8-7. We'll be back with you in just a few moments. Good at attacking these as oh my god, nice shot by Soul Labor with a triple kill! What a kill! Aimbot, what the hell was that? Overdrive is popped as Sparky's Wilk on site. Rolling Thunder is used to try and stop them out, and the return will come too. Sosu finds a trade with Tapsy. Couple of lone side Confide with a double kill, triple kill for
mid. Looking to maybe reprimand an overzealous mid peak, but Zalsta's not really taking the bait, just jiggling down here. Kuru's operator potentially coming into, yep, Rikishi gets executed, solo pushing A once again, and Kuru's gone. Kuru's B now. This four-man stack up mid. Zalsta may not feel this pressure. Isn't able to connect the shots, and that's now 3 stacked up towards the side of Vespra, and TLP is once again boxed in, unable to find any way out. Warning shot rattled off by Kuru. Not happy to take back on the angle again. Smoked off by Demonic. Miss Vale getting up close here, but Sangle's locked down by an operator.
so hard for them to do anything here. They're just curdled up through mid. They know there's an op watching them as well. They're forced to go towards the A site, but it's just a giant trap. I just don't see how they're going to find a way out of this.
Yeah, Vespra re-clearing A site here now, and they know there's no aggression elsewhere. They must know every single player on the side of TLP is stuck in here, and Pesta going for a little bit of a solo play here, but yeah, Ray's actually on their own now. This is uncharacteristically disconnected from the side of Vespra, and Ryuk now heavily going up to punish Ray, but Ray does manage to claim one, maybe two. That's a nice two from Ray there. It's now 10 seconds on the clock. Ryuk still with the Sheriff, getting heavily tagged up by Zalster and punished. That spike in no man's land, I don't think Ryuk realized he had that, and that could have gone south very quickly for the side of Vespra, but really only with one casualty towards the end of that. That's very well handled.
I mean, Ray's the hero of the round. Why are we over-rotating here when you know these guys only have pistols, leaving their Sentinel all alone to just be attacked from all sides, but somehow finds a double kill. Eventually does fall, but the rest of the team able to come back right away and find the rest. But a bit of a lapse in judgment overall, but either way, it is 4 rounds in a row for Vespra. This is a tie game, and look at Ryuk, only 1 kill in the last 4 rounds. They have been very good at shutting down this duelist. Now, they have a rifle again. Can Ryuk bounce back?
Yeah, TLP accentuating their initial early peaks with a lot more util this time. Maybe trying to overcompensate a little bit. This has forced idling somewhere off the line, but Misfell punished down mid, and that's once again the player advantage towards Vespra very early in the round. Rikishi does even it out, takes down the opposing Sova. Ryuk now looking to get aggressive, maybe into heaven, but not too happy with it. Aiden getting an early push up here has been noted. Zalsta punishing Tempesta, rotating in here. They've let them get in their heads. They're so deep, and once again they're boxed into sight. Ryuk does well to get one, but Ray rips the ult and does manage to grab Ryuk. So that's actually an even 2v2. Demonic is going very aggressive here into security. Full blind by the Yoru, and now it's a 1-on-2. Unable to stop that deadlock ult. Clean kill onto Kuro. 1-on-1. Zalsta not much in the back pocket. Goes for the tap. As usual to stall. Demonic's very happy to sit back side for the moment. Going for the second tap. Zalsta is not sticking. And Demonic closes. That's a clean clutch for TLP. Maybe a little bit closer than they would have liked, but a good recovery.
Yeah, I think Vespra got a bit too addicted to their utility there, and that kind of hurt them for the last 2 kills. I feel like they could have got Ryuk for essentially free. Instead of using the Annihilation, they could have just been able to kill the tethered player, and then it would have been a 3 versus 1, but unfortunately, the trade ended up happening, making it 2 versus 1, and then we saw Kuro get addicted to their utility, pushing it out, and you get caught with your pants down. Demonic ultimately able to find that round, and they potentially can get right back into their driver's seat, but they still have their worst bye heading into this one. We'll have a Blade Storm here for Ryuk, as it looks like they want to head towards the A site this time, and the Sentinel is set up towards B, but Kuro again, a first blood with the op.
Yeah, heavy first blood. Once again, another really heavy A main fight with only 2 players, and this 3 players are now on this A site. Ryuk's kind of on an island here, peeks into Kuru, but not happy to peek the operator. Getting clear. That is, that's not well cleared from the side of Ryuk there, and it's once again a 5-on-3, and they're once again boxed into the A site. No other map control or pressure at all. Rikishi going for a push into security, blinded out by the opposing breach. Aiden, a little bit trapped. Wait, did Rikishi manage to blind himself?
Maybe a little, but it's okay.
Now, there is a reasonably good frag onto idling, but still man advantage. Very heavy for the side of Vespra, and Demonic's just tagged up and punished. Rikishi not even able to get a trade, and Aiden does a lot of work in that reaggressor there, all the breach kit, but again, losing a player early and being boxed into a site, this is uncharacteristically poorly executed. Even the aggression isn't going their way anymore.
Yeah, it's such a weird map right now where we're just kind of seeing the opposite happen, but it really does feel like it's more of a team play here from Vespra. We're seeing Kuro with the operator early in the round, finding that first blood, and then at the very end, we just see Aiden just running through flashes, not caring, able to find a double kill that looked kind of completely for free, didn't really phase Aiden that much, but this is where we need to see some bounce back very soon. It is a eco here. Tipier, the only one to bring, okay, there's going to be a Ryuk Stinger, but Tipier is going to have a Bulldog as well. They have 3 ultimates. Can they find anything, as this is going to be extremely difficult with the worser weaponry?
We're on a very early angle, and that's immediately the Bulldog is down. Will be recovered by Rikishi, but flank kit's down, so they're going to have to be watching their back, and idling somewhere still on site. Kind of on an island, but still able to get a reasonably decent tag onto Rio, and is happy to give up the site. Wait for reinforcements to arrive. Once again, boxed in onto the site, no other pressure. Idling somewhere does go for a bit of a risky peek and does get punished for it. Demonic's going to go for the gun here. May get hard swung, but doesn't look like it's going to happen. Grouping up for a heavy retake. Whole breach kit's still available to Aiden, and I believe Zasta still has the blind. Kuru, with that operator, is a little bit hindered, but does go for the Euro ult to clear out the enemy positions. Ray's flank noted, but Rikishi's not able to get it done. Maybe a bit of a miscom there. Ray with 3. That's a disgusting flank. That should have been calmed down immediately, but 2 players are not looking the correct direction to punish that deadlock. That Euro ult is pulling so many eyes. It's a really clean retake from the side of Vespra.
They only had 1 player watching, but unfortunately, right when they went down, Ray continued the swing, and there was a perfectly timed fault line on the 2 more members there of TLP, and able to find the rest. Unfortunately, their clip was ruined there from Zoster, as Ray probably would have gotten that 4th kill for the 4K. Either way, I mean, a brilliant round. Ray now 2.0 KD on this deadlock, and also Kuro, once again, for I think the 3rd or 4th time in a row, finds an operator first blood. A brilliant usage of this weapon so far, and yes, they were able to tie up the player count during that round, but this is looking quite dangerous here for TLP, but they have weapons again. They still have ultimates. Can they finally get back into this game and tie it up again?
The heavy mid side from the side of TLP here. Idling someone just takes Ryuk down. I don't believe that was through the smoke or above the smoke. Idling someone with 2 onto the opposite number of Misspell with 3. Does get punched by an extremely heavy push from Rikishi and Tempesta. Does manage to claim another, but it's still man advantage to the side of Vespera. Vito ult invested, maybe to counter Zasta. Once again, boxed up in mid. The side of Vesper is grouping up. Ray double checking that there's not going to be an aggression up and B here, and it's going to be guaranteed that they're going into A now. Nice and slow, and Kuru's happy to re-clear this with the shotgun up.
Rikishi does have the Rolling Thunder too, and it is a popped ultimate for tip ears, so there is some very good ultimate and just usage and utility in general from the win the round, but oh no, Rikishi!
Oh no, Rikishi misses the clone position noted out and absolutely demolished by Kuru. It's all onto Tempesta. 1v3, very clean kill onto Ray.
Oh.
I don't think that was meant. I think it was meant to go a bit more forward. Kuru just with a Ferrari swing swaps off to the Vandal and closes out with, I believe that was a 2K. Kuru once again hard countering Rio, can honestly kind of copying his signature aggression, but with a far more impactful reads.
Yeah, and
it's an excellent comeback.
Ryuk had like 12 or 13 plus kills over Kuro throughout that first half. Now the kills are tied. But you also have to mention, in that last round, idling somewhere, able to find that multi-kill to begin the round, find that double to start everything off in an initial 3 versus 5. That is a perfect start for them, and somehow the First Bloods constantly are going Vespra's way, and that is one of the main reasons they've gotten themselves now a 2-round lead. It's 9-11. There needs to be some hope now for this team, because, I mean, TLP, they're on a lot of half armors, they're on a lot of Guardians, and they are in trouble and in need for some sort of help. But Kuro again!
Yet more, yeah, once more, heavy mid presence shown from the side of Vesper, and once again, Mana Munchers goes to their side, and I feel like a broken record, but once again, TLP is boxed in on the A site with 5 members of Vespra sat outside of the site. Soveralt invested, unable to even get the plant down from the side of TLP. This is not looking good. Maybe potentially a 12th round unless Rio can pull something magical. Rikishi just goes a peeking straight into the op. Completely dry. Rio caught looking the wrong direction. Ray with the punish. Mistveil. Demonic managed to get one. All on Mistveil. Fully blinded up and just gets operated to the side of the head. It's disconnected and they're just getting boxed and canned. There's nothing that the side of TLP can do. This is an absolutely gorgeous comeback from the side of Vespra.
And it's match point for their map pick as well. A brilliant second half so far. Can they keep it up? As that triple kill from Kuro might do it. Just one more First Blood, just one more decent round from them, and they will win their first series and their first map of this series, and the first map in general of Group A. One ultimate orb off for Kuro and Zoster for their ults on the other side. Mistveil, a bit of a struggling game. Want to have a bounce back in the next one, but does have that Hunter's Fury available. Some good things that they can use, but what will they ultimately be able to do, as there are 0 defenders towards the B site to start us off? Zoster will be able to suss some things out, but this is actually a perfect beginning here for TLP to get this site and have a chance in this round.
Once again, Vespra holding for that heavy A aggression when none of that is seen. It's assumed to be a direct other side hit, and they have got that completely right. It's looking to be a 5-on-5 retake, with really the Deadlock ult looking to have a lot of impact here, clearing out those title corners. Idling Summer does note the very embedded presence. But yeah, it's grouping up to a heavy 5-on-5 retake. Rikishi pushed off the angle by the aftershock, and Idling Summer does go swinging it dry. Once again, the operator not able to collect on the kill, and Deadlock ult does manage to connect onto, I believe, onto Rikishi there. Demonic with good trades, and it's all onto Kuro once again with the operator. Clean shot, but oh no, they're still going for this. This is a questionable decision, I would say. Peeks into the high-low and somehow managed to survive that long, but unable to get away with the operator, and finally answering back from the side of TLP, but they're going to need a lot more from where that came from.
Yeah, very questionable positioning decision there from the side of Vespra. I don't know why they played no one on the B site in general. I think they might have thought that there's no way they're going towards them. Might put a lot more mid and A pressure like they have in the previous rounds, but I feel like you have to have someone there, and they definitely were punished overall. But this game is still so difficult. Ryuk not able to find too many picks. Still only 3 picks in the last 10 rounds, I believe, or so. We need to see what Ryuk can do to get their team back into this, or will we see the rest of them continue to step up and give their team an advantage? They just need 2 rounds. Can they tie this one up?
Once again, Vespra very light on the B hold, but again, this A pressure is not seeing too much results. Just pulls out the Deadlock wall and unable to really put that much more pressure on. Rikishi basically dumping half of that kit not to obtain anything. Now, this quietness from the side of mid is going to pull Idling into a drone on B, and this B aggression is going to be noted. And once again, looking to be a retake for the side of Vespra, as not much opposition to the spike going down. Looks like they're going to be planting it for long, maybe to in an attempt to use the Hunter's Call. Oh no, they popped that. Yeah, no denial at all. Zoster up heaven. It's grouped up. This mid lurk from the potentially noted. Kuro into Dimensional Rift ripped, but yeah, these embedded positions are going to be noted. And Idling Summer with one, Zoster with another. Tempesta does answer back onto Zoster, but again, they're in sight. Ryuk with 1, Demonic with 2. Aiden all on Aiden once again. Perhaps 2. Time is ticking down. Tempesta noted. Aiden not quite sure where Spike is. Goes for the tap. Tempesta not giving it to them. Tempesta noted. That's out of time. Nearly the chance for a clutch there, but Tempesta's patient enough to have it wait out, and Aiden doesn't even get away with the gun. It's just looking to be a little bit of a recovery here from the side of TLP.
Yeah, and again, I would say it's another bad setup here for Vespra. I don't want to be that guy, but having no one on the B site is just constantly being punished now. We just saw them again take that site completely for free. They're able to fight a bit easier that time because they had the Dimensional Drift to spot it out, but overall, I mean, they're just fighting them off, and Tippier and Rikishi kind of feels like they've been the ones to really do it with Demonic. They're just able to find these rounds by the skin of their teeth in a way, but either way, they played that exactly how they ultimately needed to. But this time, they are changing up the strats. They're heading back towards the A site. We have seen Ray really be good at defending the site so far. Will they commit to try to take A, or will they back off and try to go somewhere else is going to be the question.
This heavy grouped up mid fight from the side of Vespra sees little to no opposition. They're going to be calling that, and Nakuru seeing no one take this angle, they're going to be calling that this is a stacked A site, reminiscent of previous rounds. Rio holding this does claim the kill onto Ray. That's going to hurt. That's all the sites still down, and 3 members of Vespra grouping up towards heaven here. The drone to re-clear. They have lost so much space, but TLP's not looking to entry. They're cautious. Now starting to roll in. Lucky that there wasn't any kind of backfill from the side of Vespra, who also were being cautious, thinking that, honestly, I think it's both sides confusing a little bit. Kuru lucky to get away with his life there. Tempesta very heavily noted, not happy to take that fight with the operator. Zasta coming back into help. Looks like TLP's grouping back, idling somewhere, lucky to get away with that kill. Not even with too much of a tag. Rio going re-aggressing with the knives, but no other kit. Unable to take this heaven fight. Moving towards security pretty much alone. Tepesto's finally coming back with the rest of the team, but it's a heavy group up. Zasta claimed by the knives. Rio can't quite get a second. Does have the Vandal. Gets claimed by Aiden. Two members of Vespra now on site. Idling someone claims one. It's all on Demonic, and yes, once again all on Demonic. It's a 1v1. Crew looking to push. Time is running down. Has to take care of this Demonic. Can't even close on the shorty kill, and that's 12-12. What a recovery from the side of TLP. Looking from desperate to just about making it work.
And we're heading to our very first overtime of Season 4 between Vespra and the Loneliest Poets. A bit of a weird round and a weird setup again. Costs Vespra this one as Ryuk finds the first blood and they open up everything else. I mean, Aiden was so close to clutching that one out there, but unfortunately, again, I think the setup for the defense has killed them in the last couple rounds, but for now, we don't have to think about it. It is swapped sides for both of these teams. Vespra back on attack, and defense is going to be here for TLP. They have the advantage now in overtime. If they can find that one-round lead in their better side, they can definitely potentially find the rest of this map as Vespra are heading towards B. What will they be able to do as Tip Your Tester is the one to defend?
Pretty silent round from the beginning. Tip Your Tester not just have to sit back a little bit, let their veto util take care of any incoming darts or anything. Maybe not popping it to take care of that recon, and actually that's a lot of side space claimed, and Tepesta has to back up mid. It's another pretty empty B site. Aiden taking care of the remainder of the veto util, and once again another 5-on-5 retake. Ray's aggression up mid, pretty tempered. Ryuk going down very deep. Might not note this, and oh dear, Ryuk's gone on a very heavy flank here, potentially claiming Zasta. Bit of a missed fight, but Ryuk does eventually claim Zasta. Maybe not expecting Ray coming up behind, but Ray's being too slow. I think that was another self-breach flash. I might be mistaken. Rikishi onto their opposite number with 8. He traded out by Idling Summer. Idling Summer once again gets 2. Tipatesta does claim Crew. Idling Summer with 3. Tipatesta does take him out. Ray taking the fight. She gets 1, but is unable to close on the second, and that is a sick kill for Mistveil, but it's an important one.
Yeah, it is a huge one. Sometimes it doesn't matter the low amount you have, as long as you get the ones that are the most important. Mistveil might have just given their team a chance to close out this map. They had the 8-4 first half. They had the big advantage, but it slipped away. Now that they've won 4 rounds in a row, can they close it out on their attack? That was their weaker side, but with the momentum they currently have, what will we see out of this defense? And right away, I'm looking at the setup here from Vespra, and I'm a bit worried. If they cannot find the first blood to start us off, this could go over very fast.
Yeah, Vespra giving up on that initial very heavy mid investment towards an extremely heavy A side execute, but really only onto Aiden. Onto Rikishi, and Aiden dumps most of their kit, and this extremely heavy pressure is going to be noted and calmed, and once again it's a completely free B site. Rhea calming this out and saying there's deadlock kit here, but there's no deadlock, and Ray is forced to back up. Rikishi maybe able to claim 1 and claims 2. He's eventually punished by Zasta, but that is a lot of information gained and 2 kills. Mid control is all that Vespra has. A full site lockdown for the side of TLP, and this might be the recovery they needed. Ray noted out by the veto util, and high lows across the board. Kuru's flank now noted. Tipatesta looking to punish, is not able to close on the kill. That is unfortunate. It's brought back down to an even 3v3. Mistveil winded out. Good to get 1. Zasta does trade it. Once again, numbers still even. Spikes ticking down. Rhea unable to be dislodged. Clean kill from the side of Rio, and it's all on Zasta. Spikes ticking down. So 1v1, but there isn't the time. And Demonic falls, but it's just not the time, and that is a lovely recovery from the side of TLP to claim map 1, 14-12.
A huge map right there for them, being able to take their opponent's map pick in general and bring themselves one step closer to winning the first series for this Group A as well. I mean, a bit of a questionable end to that last map overall because of the positioning it felt like, but overall Ryuk will be able to help with the rest of the team able to win that one off. We will see you in map number 2 of Split in just a few moments. Good at attacking these as, oh my god, nice shot by Soulhaber with a triple kill! What a kill! Aimbot, what the hell was that? Overdrive is popped as Sparky's will go on site. Rolling Thunder is used to try and stop them out, and the return will come too. Sosu finds a trade with Capsy. Coupled or alongside Confide with a double kill, triple kill for Confide. This KJ flipping the odds as Tyler C is alone and afraid. Confide with a quadra.
Timmy Fish working his way up. I mean, that's just incredible. He's gonna be able to find people. He's gonna be able to find Sunset. This is the player we've talked about before. Yeah, and this is a good smoke placement. He's able to play close. He's not going to get blinded by this. Snorlax is going to run through. He's not going to find that pick immediately, but Timmy Fish will.
Look at this flank from Fosley.
Oh, Fossey on the flank gets one. Probably going to get two. Might even get an ace, honestly, here with it. He gets the 4K. Unable to get the ace. Jiggly cleans it up. Cookies was able to kill Fossey, but I mean, Fossey got 4. The round's pretty much over from there.
They play it. They do have the worst weaponry, but these stingers can work really well up close. This has to find one. Will find a quadra kill through the box. Didn't even know that was happening. Confide will finish it off and clip that, ladies and gentlemen. It's 6-5. The trades are looking good as Karino could potentially find another. Won't find just yet. As Timmy Fish with a triple kill. It's all left to this solo Yoro Pregnant Hippo. Can you find one? Will finds the second. What a double kill for Pregnant Hippo. Can you find the next? Is it Void is sticking for now. Doesn't know where Pregnant Hippo is. Can you clutch out the round? Oh, won't find the kill just yet. But with the right click, what a clutch from Pregnant Hippo. It's a 1v3 to secure the first round for Tacti Bears.
He's on the seaside, so that will create some stall. However, place is completely walled off. A Bushy takes out Pyrus.
What they worship, and it is what they will continue to go to. As look at this, 4 players in Waterfall. They're looking to attack. But
Bushy gets 3, gets 4. He's on his way to an ace. He's gonna keep Boba single-handedly alive in this game as Zom takes him down. Now the rest of Boba gotta lock in and kill this one poor player of Zom in Waterfall. Nova's gonna do some skin shopping here, try to find Zom and take him down.
Okay, Wipebuff just finds Slay, and I was going to say that Slay, after that, using the Nightfall last round, is already halfway back to it. Fuzzy Nanook is able to find a quick relief of finding another player, but Wipebuff just pushes through. The pure ego coming through, not using any utility. Clone comes through, finds a 4th, and he is on for the ace, as all it will take is to find Snorlax, who is just going to get spotted out in mid. The 1-tap coming through.
Retake is just too clean. It's all up to Hapsy. He gets 2.
Oh my god!
He gets an ace. Oh my goodness, Hapsy.
What a round from Hapsy! One of the craziest aim sprees I just saw! Instantly.
Yeah.
Oh my god, triple kill for Cookers! That just happened, alright. Salthammer will find 1, but this round is no longer looking for...
Is able to drop, dodges a flash, will find 1. And it looks like it's all up to Soulhammer here to take Vortex into match point, and I don't know if he knows! And he does, but what
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
And Snorlax gets 1.
Run,
His
Snorlax!
frenzy is good. I think Soulhammer wants this.
The bomb is down too. I mean, they know there's only 2 positions Snorlax can realistically be here, and they're going to cover both of them. The question is, can Snorlax clutch this out? So Soulhammer's actually pushing up against the frenzy. This could hurt, and knows where!
No! Oh, the ace was so close. He's too greedy. Way too greedy. Snorlax's frenzy is insane. Oh my god, the headshot. He gets the clutch. Smoke comes through that's going to allow Honda to walk through, and Hapsy working the way behind B. Honda has used that space well as Howie finds on Zoe on the B side, has time to plan. This could be the clutch of all time. 5, 4, the time isn't there.
Oh!
No, the 4K clutch will tie up Lotus. Has the time, they're all looking away. He spots all the players. He finds 2. Malachi with such low HP. The annihilation happens, and it's not connected. Malagrai is gonna run all the way to the B site.
Dream Fury has to clear every single angle, and it's going to be an early fight here. Malagrai might not be ready for this.
I don't think he is either. He spots the gun, and Malagrai's not looking the right way. It's gonna be overtime.
But it looks like things have slowed down a little bit.
Yeah, we'll see how they actually do end up playing this. They're just trying to find any positioning. It looks like they're going through garage, and they will find Chosen One as they're going to continue the aggression shoots. You're playing this fight, and they will get the trade anyway. It's going to be a 3 versus 3 advantage still towards Aura Farmers as they're able to find bananas as well. But you have to be careful here. Ooh, Soymik almost with the wisp, but Drew Bussy will get the trade. It's all left to Greedy. The only person left was Zero Deaths. Can't find the pick. Get taken down. Greedy with a 4K and will hurt all the souls of Aura Farmers.
He's not going to get spotted. Wazowski
Oh!
is going to find 2 in the round. Slay gets 2. Maybe a misstep from Tactibears, but it's all onto Hondon to be able to stop this defuse. Scan comes through. Bomb is tapped. Slay is watching for Hondon, and he swings, and Slay is able to find it. Spades tie it up off of such heroics.
He's dead. It's a free flank from Hapsy. The trades are coming through from on site.
But Zex is getting all the other kills.
Yeah.
Rolling
The
Thunder
Warrior comes
hits
through.
2.
It's gonna stop the defuse, and it's gonna hit both of them. Hapsy is not enough, and the kill comes through from the blast pack. The defuse goes through, and that is the win for Appa.
But Novaz and Bush are going to try to do it anyway.
Oh, the
big
shots
damage.
are. They know they're in there. Soy Milk ready for these players. He's not gonna find any as Bushy flicks right onto his head. Clay's in the heaven, spots a player long. Pyrosit is gonna stop him from peeking as Zinni takes down Bushy. Clay's peeking out of heaven, is not able to claim.
All right. Welcome back to Mask Madness Season 4, Week 1 in Group A. That is a mouthful. It is the Loneliest Poets taking Map 1 over Vespra, 14-12 in our very first overtime. And I'm excited to see what we have in map number 2. Can Vespra get back into it on the Loneliest Poets map pick? We'll definitely find out. I'm Rhodes, joined with Vanish and GYT. We'll be observing. Vanish, a bit of a wacky one that we just witnessed. What are your thoughts as we head into Split?
Yeah, I felt like Vesper nearly had that comeback, but just let it slip through their fingers with those B-side holds. Both teams actually were pretty weak on that side. Saw the majority of rounds that weren't close ended on that side. It was just felt really weird. It felt like everyone was like, oh, okay, we're going to go fight mid, and never did.
Yeah, definitely a peculiar one at that, and I'm intrigued to see what we get team composition-wise as everything is locked in, and it kind of feels like these styles are kind of coming out from both these teams. We're going to see an Astra Viper with a Jet as well, and everything between a Vice, like for this Loneliest Poets team, which again is a bit peculiar, I would say, as we're not even getting a Viper for Vespra. These teams are really kind of putting their own style on these maps, and I'm really liking it.
Yeah, I'm looking towards that Breach Rage combo for maybe some fun nades, and with the net nade stun, there's a lot of entry power with this duelist, and Kuru was going for some very aggressive peaks, but the damage dealing potential here is now such an increased level. It's going to be some fun.
Yeah, and of course, all the momentum has been gained for the Loneliest Poets in that last map. They won 5 in a row to ultimately close it out after Vespra was on match point for 3 rounds. They could have been able to do it, but unfortunately the setups just were not in their favor. And we're actually going to be seeing them start on defense this time. So how will everything go on Split? Do they have enough setups to get them done and potentially winning this map? The attack here is starting for the Loneliest Poets. Ryuk, MVP of last map for obvious reasons. What can we see as 19 kills in that first half of last map really put their team over the edge? Can they pull something off similar now?
Very, very heavily aggressive push from Ryuk here. Does not quite dodge that stun, but gains a lot of space, and looks like Vesper's leaving this heaven open, which is there's a lot of pressure on idling here. Doesn't get one, gets completely overwhelmed, and Hayden gets punished. Kuru manages to get a nade kill there. Hayden dead in vents, and there's a bit of a mid fight going on here between Tipper Tester and Ray. Zavsta shoved back into their spawn. How is Kuru still alive on this site? He pops a second nade. That he should not have lasted that long. Demonic does eventually close out on that kill, but it's locked out here for Vespra. Ryuk getting very aggressive. Does get a reward for it. Zauster's dead and gone, and all on Ray. Lots to do, and only a classic. Man, TLP's even holding this. Tipitesta has fallen off the angle, so Ray will get heaven, but looks like very aware that this could. Yep, Ray's noted out. Tipitesta grabs it. Ryuk, rare whiff, but Tipitesta closes on. That's a good, clean pistol. Nice early round aggression from Ryuk. And honestly, I think players like Aiden weren't just not expecting that kind of push-up.
Yeah, similar to last map, we see a very nice start here for Loneliest Poets on their attack, and we'll see, or at least on their attack this time, as we'll see if they can continue with that pressure with this pistol round. I mean, last time we streamed as well, we saw once they won a pistol round, we just saw an absolute explosion of offense on Split. I'm curious to see if it happens on this map too, as the defense, kind of like we've seen a bit in the past so far for Vespra, they are nowhere near where the bomb is. They're nowhere near where the player is, and it is going to be a completely free site, and most likely in a completely clean round, as unfortunately they just choose the wrong site to stack at this round.
Yeah, I must say I'm getting quite tired of saying it's an empty site, but it was a completely incorrect stack. Very unfortunate from the side of Vespra there, and not much to have any capability to re-aggress. I'm not even sure what their util buy is like, but look, the Raze has nothing other than the nades, so they found themselves pretty much locked out by this Vice Wall, not even choosing to 1-2-3 it. Maybe a bit of a mistime there, and 4 players on the flank, 3 of them duck out. Tipitesta looking to deny with this Molly, and idling some of the first to fall. Zauster unable to get aggressive. Tipitesta tag down low. Aiden just kind of wanders in there and grabs the right-click kill. That is a rifle recovered, so that's actually pretty nice for the side of Vespra. Ryuk getting aggressive, claims Zauster, but also likely to go down. Ray looking to die to spike. Wait, what? Ryuk, there's no way you take that. Now, Aiden does manage to survive for the side of Vespra, I believe. Maybe. Oh, Demonic. Ooh, that could have been risque. But Aiden does manage to nick the rifle off the side of TLP, but they'll still be pretty happy with that.
I mean, I don't think Vespra are too angry at that round, since 2 players did ultimately die here for the Loneliest Poets, but man, you would love to have had Ryuk there. That was such a free kill. The Spectre would have been down. They would have only had 2 rifles coming into this, but now there's a slight doubt in the air where they're able to keep that Spectre. They're able to have 2 Guardians, and there is potential for a bonus. We've already seen it so far for Vespra, where they're able to win it in the second half of Abyss. Now, what can TLP do to potentially find some major pressure in this game? As Kuro
with a clean 2 onto 2 members of TLP, and while Ray was alone on the A site, held her nerve and did not call for rotates. Zauster then tucked up under this box. Tipitesta, now aware, does manage to punish the Bulldog. Looking to be closed on by idling somewhere. Idling somewhere. Okay, shots are labored, but the kill does happen. Rikishi maybe looking to recover that Bulldog. Kuru still on a tear, rolling up, gets 3. And this last player is going to be noted as being pretty tied up mid. Rikishi maybe looking to get idling somewhere here. Does not manage to close the shot. Gets hit with the C's. Can't move quick enough to catch idling, and there's going to be some surrounding going on now. Does very well to close onto Kuru, ending his streak of terror, but idling somewhere comes back and gets the second.
Yeah, and just like the fire alarm, it seems that there's some question marks in the air of what we're going to see out of this next round for TLP. They weren't able to do as much damage as they probably wanted, but overall, they're able to find a kill or 2, and we'll see how this next round does look to go as Kuro with the showstopper now. Can we see Vespra fight back and tie this game up? It's going to be difficult against 5 Vandals, but I'm very intrigued to see if they can find these picks overall. This game so far feels like it's Kuro versus Ryuk. Who can find that opening pick to give their team a chance?
Ray all on her lonesome against 4 members of TLP. Also, I do apologize, viewers. I had to check my house wasn't actually on fire. It isn't. Ryuk grouped up against this wall, not looking like they want to contest heavy, make any noise, but Vespra is feeling this lack of pressure elsewhere and is moving Zauster towards a midline, and Ray's very careful of this potential stack up, not exposing herself. manages to net 2 players. That's gonna have to be a sound cue at some point, but they're still holding their nerve, being very quiet. Cool to finally remove the net happens, and Ray very under fire here. Once again, solo on site is forced to back out, and again, the site is free for the side of TLP.
Yeah, they just do not really want to hold these sites off very hard. All they have is a bit of central utility, and then they just completely give it for free.
Now a 5-on-5 retake spoiled by Tipitesta, removing Kuru down mid. Vespra gonna have to be aware of that mid pressure, but there isn't any anymore as he's grouped up 5 on side, idling someone, not able to connect the shots. Ray going for a walkabout a little bit. Demonic closes on idling, and Ray's punished by Misveil. Tipitesta closes on Aiden. Zauster does manage to get one, unable to close the shots anymore. Is getting pounded by this breach util, and TLP are happy to sit back and let Zauster stew. Maybe potentially gonna recover a rifle here, but that's all they can do. It's another round for the way of TLP, and looking much like last map.
Yeah, and they kind of take quite a bit of damage, but if you can't find the kill, then who really cares at the end of the day? Once again, Vespra are just so inclined to try and play this 5v5 retake. They just completely give up these sites, and I mean, it has worked out very good for the Loneliest Poets so far, being able to easily retake them. But we'll see what Vespra decide to do in this next round on defense. Of course, Kuro still with the Showstopper available, the main piece of utility, the main player I'm looking out for right now for Vespra to get their team in this game. The Showstopper is ready and ready to go in a perfect position here in heaven. If they hear something, I would not be surprised if they let rip.
Yeah, Kuru noting his heavy pressure. I think some are heavily punished by Ryuk, though. Once again, that extremely fast pressure up. Although I must say, Vespra are looking to hold on to this heaven a little bit stronger. And TLP's happy to let them have it. Pushing all 5 players into the A side. They're going to be realizing this is completely empty. Once again, a very stacked up retake for the side of Vespra, but down a player. And Misveil's going walkabouts up ramp here. Aiden aware of this pressure, does punish. Ray punishes, also punishes Rikishi down into for another aggressive push into screens. And that's 2 solo players absolutely demolished, and a lot of the site hold power gone. Ray's need to clear up back site, potentially seeing the Showstopper invested. Yep, here comes the party. Ryuk sees his dude, manages to dodge it at 12 HP. Demonic closes on 3, and Zasta can't find the shots, and Ryuk claims it. That is an excellent dodge of that Showstopper, and Kuru is going to be beating themselves up over that.
Yeah, and Demonic will find the kill because of it too. A triple on the round, 5-1-1. I feel like we saw this in the last map, where Ryuk and Demonic just had some crazy killing sprees to give their team a big opportunity. And once more, it's going to be a 3-round deficit for Vespra as they're going to try to get right back into this game. They're going to be on an eco, though. It's going to be extremely difficult as ultimates are starting to slowly come up for either team. But can we see some funky plays happen? What can Vespra look to do to get back into this one, as Rikishi has to be a bit careful as there is quite a bit of mid-pressure unbeknownst to them.
Yeah, Rikishi may be getting up a little bit further than Vespra expect, however, it looks like there's a Seize nade combo prepped up here. Zauster with the blind, and out comes the kit. The nade's late, though, and doesn't look like it's going to be able to close on Rikishi. Oh, no, that is a nice punish there, but not really recoverable as Demonic still holding it, though. It looks like they're going to try. Demonic with a nice collat, and notes Kuru stuck in the corner. Stun doesn't quite connect, and that's 3 for Demonic. Ray is all on an island on site being pressured by Misveil, although they're happy to let it go and group back up towards their spawn as Tipitest has made his way very deep into the A site. Aiden none the wiser, heading back into vents. Maybe looking to recover the rifle down mid, but as I've said before, I'm tired of saying it, but the site is free, no contestant, and Tipitest is very deep on this line here. I'm not sure that Vest was going to see this one coming, and this mid reclear is coming. They're going to be very aware that there's no one here, and this has to be an A push, but there's not much they can do about it.
Yeah, this is just not a good position here for Vespra at all. Maybe we can see some heroics, but how Ryuk is set up, how Tippy or Tester is set up, I mean, there's just no chance for them to ultimately do anything in this round unless they get some amazing heroics, amazing plays. I just don't see how they can do anything here with the time running out and Ryuk having a beautiful timing in general.
Ryuk and Aiden do pass a little bit. There's a little bit of a timing there, so Aiden might find himself a kill that he wasn't going to get before, but Ryuk's not looking to push this line. Aiden now in sight, but unable to close any of the kills. Now stuck in the thorns. Demonic is a little bit trapped here, but Aiden punished by Misveil, and Ray doesn't go down to Demonic. That's unusual, but still looking to go down to the spike. So at the end of the day, no weapons kept.
It is 5-1 now. Of course, that was an eco. They're able to find 2 picks, which I guess is good enough for now, as we're going to see how these teams look to play into this next round. A very successful attack so far for the Loneliest Poets. 8-2 now on Demonic, 7-2 for Ryuk. Tip your tester, 4-2 as well, which is not bad or shabby. They still have that Cosmic Divide here for the Astra. That's the main thing they can use on this map, and one of the big things you can really do as you are subbing out, or as you are having a Viper and an Astra at the same time, you can do some very cool plays with that ultimate, including with the Viper wall. So I'm intrigued to see what the Loneliest Poets decide to do, as once again, they're playing as a team. They're going up through B, and be careful defense, because your setups have been hurting you in the past. Can you defend that against this now?
There's slight double up here from the side of Vespra, and Zasta gets punished with the smoke by Tipper-Tester. That's an unusual kill there. Ray looking to punish onto Ryuk, but is unable to get the kill, and that's immediately team-man advantage in an open B site. Aiden, unable to backfill in time, is going to have to invest into clearing Ryuk here, although maybe not aware of how fast he's moving. Aiden manages to punish Ryuk, takes Heaven control, and all 3 players are grouped up, but it's a 4-person stack onto B for the side of TLP, and it's not looking good once again for Vespra. These retakes have been lackluster at best. Demonic pushed off the line by the nade, but Rikishi still prepped New Box with this flash here, and Demonic, given enough time to recover, claims 1. Aiden with train on Demonic. Rikishi does manage to shut down Idling somewhere though, and Aiden just runs out of bullets, and Misvale punishes that.
Yeah, and it's going to turn into a team ace as Mistvale and Tip Your Test are able to find the final picks, and we're really seeing the bit of a pug squad here from Vespra. They are a very new team. They haven't been able to practice with each other probably as much as they would like to begin this tournament. They definitely have a few kinks they're trying to get towards, and that's one of the main things coming into this series on why it kind of feels like the Loneliest Poets so far are able to get the upper hand, as we're getting a timeout here from them in general. Can we see Vespra step back into light and potentially get back into this game? They have 5 ultimates, but they are on an eco, which just makes things so extremely difficult with them just not being able to find as much pressure as they definitely would have liked to. But the game is not over until the match ends at 13 or plus rounds or whatever everything does go. We really need to see what Vespra can do to get back into this, though.
I would say, I believe this is Vespra's first time out of the series. I would say this is probably more targeted to the round after this one. They just really are unable to be winning these rifle fights. They're just taking them solo, and I think a lot of this, like, this timeout has to be about peeking together and comboing you two, because their timings just seem really off, and they're unable to get those trades and those dual kills. It's just not quite happening for them. I think we're going to see maybe a little bit more cohesion if they've done this right. Heavy ult cycle for the side of Vespra, however, so maybe seeing if 1 or 2 kills go their way, maybe seeing a Rolling Thunder invested, or maybe the Annihilation, but I have a feeling they're going to save the Fade ult for last, as it were. Ray, noting this extremely heavy pressure, is once again alone on site, but able to ward off Ryuk for just that little bit of time that he needs for Aiden to back up. Ray now holding the cross, but split in half by the Viper wall, and Ray having to back up. She's feeling the pressure. Aiden, all the pressure is now on Aiden. Ryuk playing this corner, and actually gets head gripped clean up by Aiden. Unable to close him on the second, though. Demonic does take the trade, but it's now 3 members of Vespra in heaven here. Wow, once again, going peeking solo.
Oh, no.
Annihilation completely missed, and Demonic closes on a second, and Kuru's tagged up half, and honestly, Zarstar doing as much they can do here. Misvale thorns them out, and they're trapped screens. Kuru goes for a very solo peek straight into Tipper-Test's crosshair, and Demonic goes for the plant, and that, I believe, secures the Astral Wardens all on Zarstar. Guns nowhere near, and Rikishi notes them up. Tipper-Test going for a little bit of an ambitious flank here, maybe looking to get the pit online with this last orb remaining. Zarstar's not seeing this coming. Oh dear, Tipper-Test is caught with a knife out. At the end of the day, the pit is still gained, but Zarstar maybe looking to recover this rifle, I would say. Getting aggressive, 1v3, really? And punished by Rikishi. Zarstar having an opportunity to save that rifle, but does not take it, leaving Vespra's economy still very, very weak.
What a disastrous round again for Vespra. Ray tries to use that Annihilation to try and find a pick through ramp, but unfortunately hits the box right in front, bounces backwards, and unfortunately for them, that is not going to hit a player. definitely not the right situation, but it's just unfortunate for them at the moment. They are just trying to breathe in anything they can. They're just trying to find any advantage that can sort of pop up. But unfortunately, again, they pick the wrong side of the map when they're stacking. Actually, no, sorry. They will actually rotate. So there is opportunity for them. The question is, how much will they move around? We have seen them be so antsy throughout these maps so far. They like to scurry around their defensive half, and right now I unfortunately feel like it is happening again in the wrong direction.
Yeah, a little bit of a fake out from the side of TLP, and Vespra really gets some of that aggression, gets the wrong idea. Like 3 bullets from Viper pull an entire team, and I'm so done with saying it's an open site, but Hayden's only barely backfilling, and TLP are just well in. Ray does have this heavy mid insert, but could potentially be punished up here by Tipper Tester. Rio gets a little bit too big for their boots, and Rikishi does get a trade onto Kuru, but Ray claims that Tipper Tester kill, and it's actually an advantage for Vespra going into this retake. But potentially, Rikishi closes it out, gets it back, tagged up low, still going for this, backs up. Hayden with the Rolling Thunder, but very cautious about taking this screens angle. 2 members of TLP tagged up real low, and Rolling Thunder invested. Race going for this heavy flank, instantly shut down by Misfail. Demolic, how do you get one there, man? Duster noted, but Thorns out, has to push into this. Time's running out, and it's completely separated, and that's Aftershock invested. Knives out, and Misfail closes out on the kill. Once again, Vespra just not able to convert these 5v4s, 5v3s, and suffering for it. You can see the cracks starting to show, and they're so like quick to rotate into their solo senti. It's just it's falling apart.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, I think Demonic was the only one not to get hit by that Rolling Thunder from Aiden. So Demonic decided to jump into backside, able to just go through the bend and actually find the players that were expecting people to be stunned, but Demonic not stunned up whatsoever and able to find a pick, making the advantage go even further in TLP's favor, and just everything did fall their way. I mean, that was just a round that TLP desperately needed, that Vespra desperately needed, and unfortunately just did not go their way, even with utility used, as Steel Garden popped.
Steel Garden invested, but Disaster doesn't have a gun to begin with, but still no impact. Potentially seeing this, little bit of ambitious push from Ryuk, once again punished. It now brings it back into a 4v4 retake, but Idling Somewhere goes for a very aggressive peek. Here comes the party. Kuru's straight out with this bunker buster of a missile. Really hesitant to peek, misses the ult. Rikishi is still unnoted. Demonic comes back to hold the crossfire. Aiden gets caught out of misspell from New Box, and Kuru is once again left alone. Ray's getting flanked, manages to get a clean kill with the classic down onto Misspell, but Rikishi pops the Rolling Thunder straight into Kuru's face. Ray is still unnoted with this, goes for the weapon swap, punished by Demonic, and Rikishi closes on Kuru. Once again, an even retake that just such easily falls apart. Ults invested, ults missed, and it's just not working for the side of Vespra.
Yeah, it's a very sad game right now for Vespra, as they're just not able to find their footing just yet. I really hope we can see them potentially find a few rounds to try and get themselves back into it, but ultimately right now, it is just completely out of their hands. It's 9-1. They're just looking absolutely demonic here. TLP are looking to try to continue their round differential, looking to get 9 rounds over them, as we're going to see an operator here from Ryuk.
Now, Jepetesta does get unusually punished, but Ray gets way too big for her boots, and Rikishi punishes her. Idling Somewhere is once again left alone up on Rams. Aiden backing up towards Elbow, maybe looking to evacuate into screens, just hold on to this heaven angle. Ryuk has gone very deep up mid. I don't think Disaster has any idea of how close and how much danger they're in. Okay, goes for the shotgun up, dashes forward. Disaster is lucky to get a kill there, kind of handed to them on a plate, and now grouping up with Kuru into heaven. Idling is coming back for the reclear into mid, but there's no one there, and Disaster is forced to give up the B site, and once again it's a 3-on-4, I apologize, retake. With that advantage, I must say, swinging towards the side of TLP here. Kuru not having much in the back pocket. Fade out invested, Nate to clear hell, clean kill onto Rikishi, but blinded out by, is that a friendly breach blind? Yes, it is. Missed Veil, gets the dink, but Kuru closes all on Demonic. Clean kill onto Kuru, and no stars placed on Spike, I don't believe, and that's 3 people holding the Spike. Aiden sticking it, does get tagged off, but Demonic's double swung and unable to close, so that is at last a second round for the side of Vespra.
bit questionable positioning there to defend the person that's defusing, but they're ultimately able to find the final pick. And yeah, it's going to be the second round. Maybe they'll be able to find one more, but it is still extremely dangerous overall. We really need to see what Vespra can do to really step up. They have the Annihilation back here for Ray. That is the main thing. You cannot hit a box this time. Unless it didn't hit a box and just missed last time. I don't really know. I just assumed it hit the box. And we will see what Ray can do with that. But on the other side, I mean, they have that Viper's Pit to use. TLP can really just be able to take these sites so easily with how passive we are seeing Vespra overall on the defense. So we'll see how everything does go, as Ryuk is actually going super fast.
I think someone noting this heavy pressure. Ryuk once again very aggressive. I think someone's not seeing it coming and gets punished for it. Once again, Vespra lets them have this retake scenario, and actually the Viper's going all the way into mid, not investing the pit on site. That's slightly unusual. Demonic going for the plot and gets the astral divide, but Aiden does punish Ryuk in mid, and I don't like that this pit hasn't been invested. Tipitester now looking to go for a peek into Kuru. Gets a nice clean kill and pushes Aiden back up the line. Astral Divide invested and allows Tipitester to evacuate. It's a 3-on-4, and TLP are extremely heavily entrenched on this site. Tipitester's still not looking to go invest that pit, but I don't think it really matters. Rikishi's tucked in this corner here. This is a devious little angle right here.
Oh, I saw it.
The breach blind. I don't think Aiden. Oh, Aiden knows, but let's bring around the Rosie. Aiden gets punished for it. There's no push out. And Zoss just done in. Ray manages to get one, but Demonic as so often closes out on the last kill. It's disjointed. There's no triple peak there. It's just Rikishi goes, right, I'm going to kill this guy, and runs out, leaves his two teammates behind, and that's a 10-2 half for the side of TLP, looking very, very dominant once again.
Yeah, Aiden just seeing that player just tucked and just jumps ahead of the team, and unfortunately just cannot find the pick, and the rest of the team falls for it, and it's going to be a 10-2 half. It is a brilliant half overall as well from Demonic, 18-5-3 on this Astra. Absolutely brilliant here on Split, and they're really showing why this is their map pick, and you can definitely see a bit of the preparation difference on this map in general. We'll see if Vespra can try to find this pistol round to give their team some life and hope, as his attack from them has to be perfect.
Looking forward to more of this signature rear pressure, and he's tanked a dog, he's tanked a blind, and still gets out, not even tagged. That's a bit of a misplay there from Vesper, and Kuru goes to re-clear the space, but has to invest quite a lot of kit, just making sure Ryuk isn't sat around that corner. Demonic with a nice little bit of kit, although does not play off that pull.
Here's the flank.
And they're sitting back. Yeah. Oh dear. Demonic does get punished up ramps. That's the first kill for the way of Vespra for once. Tipitester, but on a very quick flank here. The pressure's all on Rikishi. And he just gets completely uncleared. Rikishi with two. Kuru does punish Ryuk, but Tipitester gets one on the flank. Ray managed to get Rikishi, but Misfell punishes Kuru, and Ray's on nothing. Unable to get out of this site and completely locked in. Does have Spike. Misfell. Shots go awry, but the fadeaway dingle to Misfell, and Ray manages by some miracle to get out, but is actually going to circle back, faking out Tipitester, who is running into sewers, expecting a B push, very fast B push, but Ray's managed to call their bluff here a little bit, and he's going to stick around heaven, but 30 seconds on the clock, your options are getting limited by the second, and Ray's being very diligent about this reclear, and Tipitester's realizing that this hasn't been quite the fast rotate that they initially thought, and is leading back towards this A site, so they're very unsure of each other's positions. Ray now comfortable enough to plant, but 10 seconds left on the clock. Tipitester's already moving into A heaven. Not much in the back pocket for Ray. Looking to go for a screens push. Tipitester will not know this push. It's ring around the rosy to the finest degree. Not planted friendly for heaven. I think this might be a little bit ambitious from Ray. Tipitester's looking the other way. Peaks. Noted shots missed. No! Both down to 1 HP and goes for the gun swap and Tipitester. Ah, that's just terrible from Ray. Such one shot off getting that kill there, and just not confident enough to hit it. Goes for the swap, and that's 11-2 for the side of TLP. Vespra not even, once again, not able to convert that 4-on-5 from the initial kill. I'd say it's not even sliding downhill. We've fallen off a cliff a long while ago.
Yeah, that's going to do it here, I think. 2 rounds for them to win this map. A force now for the side of Vespra. They're going to have 5 Stingers heading into this round, and I mean, that is just a round that you cannot lose there, Ray, with an unfortunate end to that one. Had the 1v1 advantage, able to do quite a bit of damage to Tipier, brought Tipier to one shot with them, but switches the gun and is just a lapse in judgment there. Not something you're going to want to watch back overall, but we'll see how the rest of this map goes. Is look at this over-aggression here from TLP. They're so confident.
He's back. He's down mid, and Zar's just gonna not even notice because Rio's
Good
gone
night.
quiet and
Oh,
don't do it, don't do it, no, oh no, Ray gets knifed, Kuru's destroyed on the entry by Demonic, and you've got this Stinger by, and they're going so slow, they've only just gotten the site, and it's down to a 5v3, and Demonic just goes straight for the swing, does get punished by Zoster at last, but Tibia Tester once again on the flank. Rikishi punishes Zoster. It's 2-on-2. Aiden boxed up in elbow, and the Stinger claims one, but Idling somewhere down to 12 and goes down to the snake bite, not even to close on the kill onto Tibia Tester. That is just a sad end. And it's now 12-2 to the side of TLP, and this was kind of an unfortunate rollover for the side of Vespra.
yeah, it is match point here, and as Ryuk puts down the thumb, it is just looking pretty much over here. In a valiant effort in map 1, going all the way to overtime this time around, it is looking like another stomp, unfortunately. I do want to see what both of these teams can do in the future, but right now I am unfortunately quite saddened that we didn't get another overtime. But either way, we'll see as this map potentially comes to a close in just a few moments. What can we see here from this Vespra team to potentially just maybe go for some fun picks? It looks like 5 players are going to start lining up towards A. We're going to get a slow rotate for a few towards Sewer. The wall's going to come down as well, and we'll see if Ryuk finds a kill here.
Very broken buy for both sides here. Ryuk rattles off those outlaw shots to no connection, but it's still pretty locked out of his sight. Vespra hesitant to peek through this Astra smoke, and there's still 3 members for the side of TLP stacked up on this A site. Heavy mid-control gain for Vespra. Kuru going for a real deep angle into Vents here, potentially seeing a punish, but Ryuk's very aware of this, and there's an outlaw watching that. Two members of TLP up in heaven on B side, notes out Idling's aggression, so the loss of mid space is going to be very noted. Both parties looking both way. Kuru does get a pretty clean kill of the Demonic there, actually. Maybe a bit of a misplay, but Ryuk does answer straight back through a blind. Idling somewhere once again takes trade. Misveil locked out a little bit, hesitant to go for this peak. Rikishi getting pressured. Is that another self-breach blind? I think it might be. Tibetester and Ray just walk straight into each other, just like, oh, fancy meeting you here, and Zaster manages to close out onto Rikishi with a pretty nice eco v eco round there. There's a lot more to do here for the side of Vespra, but that'll make him feel a little bit better at least.
Yeah, you know what? There you go, Vespra. Able to find a few picks there, make yourselves feel a bit better about the entire situation overall, but you know what? Hey, get your picks, get some momentum, and somehow bring us to overtime, because that would just be the most mass madness thing where we say a game looks completely over and then they're just able to stifle them and just come all the way back. So we're going to begin this next round here. What will we see how Demonic is? They want to be aggressive, it kind of looks like. No, we'll bounce back, but now Kuro goes.
It's another 5-man push up ramps and into A. The series point hanging over the heads of Vespra here, and then hesitant to go past his choke. Deadlock invested once again misses. Rikishi sat back here, ready to punish with these blinds. Rikishi with 2 easy kills. That's 3. Only tagged out by Kuru finally at the end, and Kuru's mid-air with the Razor ult completely punished by Ryuk, and Tibetest is on the flank but doesn't need it. Ryuk closes out the kill, and that is a 13-3 for the side of TLP, and that's a series win.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a very unfortunate series here for Vespra in their debut. I mean, they had a good performance in that first map. They couldn't pull it off in the second, but you really got to give it up for Demonic, Ryuk, Rikishi. I feel like they had some very impactful performances, some very, very impactful performances at both of these maps. But either way, I mean, they looked quite good. Tipier also played quite good throughout the rest. And even Mistvale had a bit of a better performance after the first map in general. So overall, I mean, this is how the Loneliest Poets wanted to debut themselves. And next week, they actually verse the team of the organization of Mass Spade. So I'm very intrigued to see what we get there, as we should be getting someone into the waiting room just a moment for an interview. as we await that. I mean, it is quite the interesting series overall, and I believe this will be one of our last series of week 1. I believe we're either doing 1 or 2 streams on Sunday. I'm not 100% sure yet, so I can't exactly confirm that overall for you guys, but I am excited to see what else we got, because we are streaming quite a bit more than we usually do here in Mass Madness, especially in Season 4, where I also want to do a bit more content for you guys overall. I'm very sorry for the scuff streams as well. Hopefully we can get a bit more quality to everyone eventually, as hopefully we get someone in the waiting room in just a few seconds and we can ask them a quick little question or so. And here we go. It looks like we're gonna be getting Ryuk, I believe. Let me double check here. I cannot read. Oh yes, we are going to be getting Ryuk, and let's see what they got to say. Hello, Ryuk.
Yep.
How are you feel? First off, how are you feeling after that series victory?
I feel hype. I'm just glad we did well. We were able to secure the win.
I mean,
So.
yeah, fair enough. And I do want to ask you about the first map, since the second one was a bit of a stomp. About the first map, when you guys went up 8-4, and it looked like kind of everything was going your way, and then it kind of slipped past you, and you had to call a timeout. What was going through your guys' minds as you were down 3 rounds, and you had to try and force overtime if you were ever going to chance to win that map?
We were talking, and our mental had dropped pretty low, and our IGL called the timeout, and shout out to him, but he said that we need to forget everything that we were like annoyed about and just lock in on this like round by round. So I'm glad he called that timeout, because I wasn't thinking of that.
Yeah, fair enough. And I was wondering if you have any thoughts about next week's matchup, as you're going to be versing the organization's team of Mass Spades. Do you have any thoughts heading into that at all?
Honestly, I know they're a pretty solid opponent. I've seen them play in different leagues, and yeah, we're just excited to just go up against them and try to take it 2-0.
I believe you also won. Do you have any thoughts about winning a series MVP, as I'm probably just going to give that to you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a good thing. I'm glad I got it, but I mean, honestly, I just couldn't do it without like my initiator, Sentinel Smokes. I'm glad they pulled through at the end.
Fair enough. Vanish, do you got anything?
Really, I just want to wish you luck against our home team, and have a nice week.
And I have only bias
Okay,
here for
thank
the
you very
Loneliest
much.
Poets to beat them. Thank you, everybody, for watching this Mass Madness Season 4 stream. We'll be back on Sunday for another one. I don't know who it is going to be yet, but I'm very excited to see who it will be. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you very soon. Peace.
Okay, goodbye.
Good
Thank
at
you very
attacking
much.
these as, oh my god, nice shot by Soul Labor with the
my
triple
God.
kill! What a kill! Aimbot, what the hell was that? Overdrive is popped as Sparky's will go on site. Rolling Thunder is used to try and stop them out, and the return will come too. Sosu finds a trade with Capsy. Coupled or alongside Confide with a double kill, triple kill for Confide. This KJ flipping the odds as Tyler C is alone and afraid. Confide with a quadra.
Timmy Fish working his way up. I mean, that's just incredible. He's going to be able to find people. He's going to be able to find Sunset. This is a player we've talked about before. Yeah, and this is a good smoke placement. He's able to play close. He's not going to get blinded by this. Trolax is going to run through. He's not going to find that pick immediately, but Timmy Fish will.
Look at this flank from Fosley.
Oh, Fossey on the flank gets 1, probably gonna get 2. Might even get an ace, honestly, here with it. He gets the 4K, unable to get the ace. Jiggly cleans it up. Cookies was able to kill Fossey, but I mean, Fossey got 4. The round's pretty much over from there.
They play it. They do have the worst weaponry, but these stingers can work really well up close. As Hatsu will find one, will find a quadra kill through the box. Didn't even know that was happening. Confide will finish it off and clip that, ladies and gentlemen. It's 6-5. The trades are looking good as Karina could potentially find another. Won't find just yet. Timmy Fish with the triple kill. It's all left to this solo Yoro Pregnant Hippo. Can you find one? Will finds the second. What a double kill for Pregnant Hippo. Can you find the next? Is it Void is sticking for now. Doesn't know where Pregnant Hippo is. Can you clutch out the round? Oh, won't find the kill just yet. But with the right click, what a clutch from Pregnant Hippo. It's a 1v3 to secure the first round for Tacti Bears.
Is on the C side, so that will create some stall. However, place is completely walled off. A Bushy takes out Pyrus.
What they worship, and it is what